Hi there. So let's continue with module 3, assessment of organizational performance. How do we assess the organizational performance? I mentioned this in the introduction, saying that it's one of the key aspects of the syllabus where we find out how we can assess the performance of an organization. That is, how has the organization performed, how an organization done in relation to the finances, in relation to customer satisfaction, in relation to the business, the employees, in relation to the systems we are using, the technologies we are using, the softwares, the programs we are using, then in relation to what decisions is the business taking in order to gain competitive advantage in the industry in the near future, in that order. So at the end of this module, you should be able to explain how the balanced scorecard can be used for performance evaluation, explain how the triple bottom line can also be used for performance evaluation, then state the advantages and disadvantages of these two performance measurement frameworks or tools, in that order. Now, it is very important for you to understand that assessment of the performance of organization is central to all stakeholders in relation to the business. So stakeholders are interested to find out how the business is performing. Customers want to find out how the business is doing. Suppliers want to find out what the business is doing. Shareholders, you know them, they are the key owners of the business, so they want to find out how the business is doing. Government also want to assess how the business is doing, whether it is complying with standards, it is complying with the rules, it is complying with regulations, it is paying its taxes and other stuff, in that order. So assessment of organizational performance is key to every organization. So let's begin the journey with the first module, referred to as the balanced scorecard. So with using the balanced scorecard, there are four perspective that we're going to be using in the assessment of the performance of the organization. So we're going to look at the financial perspective. We're going to look at the customer perspective. We're going to look at the business process perspective. Then we're going to look at business development or innovation perspective. So these are the four perspectives of the organization that we have to look out for. Development, growth, or let me write growth or learning perspective. Growth or learning perspective. Now, what is the financial perspective about? The financial perspective about assessing the performance of organization simply has to do with the profitability of the organization. Okay, so this is the key aspects, the profitability of the organization. In other words, the financial perspective tries to answer the question, how does the organization appear to the shareholders? So the owners of the business, how do they see the business? Is the business profitable? Is the business doing well? Does the business has a minimal gearing ratio or high gearing ratio? What is the performance of the business profitably, in that order? So that is about the financial perspective. It tries to measure the financial profitability or financial performance of the organization. Basically, under financial perspective, we're going to be using what? Ratios. Okay, so we're going to be using the profitability ratios here: returns on capital employed, net profit margin, gross profit margin, sales to working capital, and all these ratios to be able to analyze and assess the financial performance of organization in order to conclude how profitable the venture is, in that order. Second has to do with the customer perspective. This talks about customer satisfaction. This talks about customer satisfaction. In other words, how do we appear to our customers, right? Have we satisfied our customers? How do our customers see us, in that order? Now, why is it important to assess how the organization has been able to satisfy its customers? The reason is that if this year we made X amount of sales, let's say $1,000, and yes, it is a good sales, we made a good profit in that order, just an example, we made a good profit in that order, but we had 100 customers making complaint about the products, and the organization was able to meet only 30 of the 100 customers. Do you think that was a good result? No. So even though we have made a profit, we haven't been able to satisfy the customers, so that in the following year, those 70 customers that we were not able to satisfy, it is likely they are not going to do business with us any longer. And once they go, they are going to spread the news that this institution is not good, this business is not good, I bought something from them, I did something with them, they did not deliver on the promise that they decided or they gave in that order. So customer perspective has to do with how the organization has been able to satisfy its customers in the current year, because it has an impact on the sales, it has an impact on the profit of the company in the following year. But a big question is this: how can we satisfy our customers if we don't know about the business processes? So the next perspective has to do with the business process perspective. This measures the efficiency and effectiveness of our processes. So the efficiency and effectiveness of our processes. Now the processes here include our employees, it includes our machine, it includes the workers, it includes management, it includes the facilities that we are using, the programs we are using, everything, the system that helps the company to be able to work, to be able to undertake its activities. We want to measure how efficient and how effective this system has been. So if we have employed 10 customer service staffs, and during the year we have had 100 customer complaints, and there are 10 customer service staff and only 30 of these complaints were attended to, then why were they employed? What are they doing? They are not being efficient. So we lay some of them off, or we employ new ones, or whatever we have to do. So business processes tries to measure the efficiency and effectiveness of what? The system we use, of our employees, of the facilities, and everything that organization uses in the carrying out of its business. Why is that important? Because the only way we can satisfy customers is when our systems are working effectively and efficiently. Now, once we satisfy customers, sales is going to skyrocket, and when sales skyrocket, you know what is going to happen: more profit for the business in that order. Then the final thing has to do with development or innovation perspective, or what we call the growing and learning perspective. This relates to the future. Such measures provide insight to tell the organization, can we continue to improve and create value? So how has the company decided, or what has the company done in relation to training and development of the employees, utilizing advanced technology or using of state-of-the-art technologies, capitalizing on policies government has made in that order? That is what we mean by that. Now, these are interconnected, okay? If we consistently improve our systems, it means that as an organization, we will be able to have efficient and effective business processes. Once our business processes are effective, they are efficient, our operations are up to the thumb, we are doing well, all other things being equal, we will satisfy our customers. Once our customers are satisfied, they go to bed satisfied, they smile all the time, they are happy buying from us all the time, then our sales is going to skyrocket. So once the sales skyrockets, mind you, what do we have? We're going to be making what? A huge amount of profit. So this is what the balance scorecard is about, and how it can be used in the measurement or assessment of the performance of an organization in that order. But there are limitations to the usage of the balance scorecard. As you can see, some companies, or not a lot of companies, actually employ the balance scorecard because of the limitations. One, it's an expensive module to carry out. Why is it expensive? Because it requires experts who are hard to come by. The reason is that it is hard to put together a team that will analyze financial perspectives separately, will analyze customer perspectives separately, will analyze process separately, will analyze innovative separately. It is difficult to put together. So what companies do now is that the finance department will do that, the customer service department will do this, the entire business processes operations department will do this, then the development or innovative department, that is if the company has one, will also do this. But it is a module that is difficult to implement. Then 3, there is various interpretation on the perspective. The reason is that how do we interpret whether we have satisfied our customers well? How do we interpret whether a certain system or a certain operation or a certain thing that we are using is operating efficiently and effectively? Sometimes it's difficult to measure some of these things. How do we actually assess that we are improving, we are growing? Now, we can assess that on a profit level, but on our operational level, sometimes it's difficult, okay, in practice to actually find out these things. So it is difficult in the user. These are some of the limitations that the balanced scorecard possesses. It's expensive, it requires expertise, it has different interpretations that has to be given in relation to each of the modules or each of the perspectives that are located on the balanced scorecard. Nonetheless, it is a great tool that can be used by companies in order to have a rounded view of how the performance of the company is. So one thing that a couple of institutions do in that order is to do what we call employee appraisal every month. So at the end of every month, they appraise their employees to be able to find out how each of them are operating and what contribution each of them are doing to the business, so that at the end of the year they put that together so that they can assess the efficiency and effectiveness of each employee, then of the entire organization, so that they can have an idea of whether we are able to satisfy the need of our customers very well. So that is what you have to understand when it comes to the first module refers to as the balanced scorecard. One limitation of this module is that it doesn't assess the impact of the organization's operation on the environment. So there was nothing about the environment mentioned about performance, because if we are measuring performance of organization, then we should be also interested in the impact of the organization's operation on the immediate environment that it's in through either carrying out corporate social responsibility, whether engaging in land degradation, or how the organization is polluting the environment or making the environment a better place, or that order. That is not included on the balanced scorecard as well. That is also another limitation of the balanced scorecard. But the second module, called the triple bottom line, solves that problem about the environment. Now, the triple bottom line is where we measure performance from 3 perspectives. So we have what we call the 3 P's of performance measurement. We have what we call, so the 3 P's, we have what we call profitability, then we have what we call the planet, and we have what we call the people. So this is the triple bottom line. The triple bottom line, it is a tool also used to measure the performance of the organization. Now, profitability is just like the financial perspective on the balanced scorecard, okay, where we use ratios analysis to the traditional ratios to measure the profitability of the company. In other words, how does the company appear to its shareholders in that order. So that is what profitability basically it's about. Planet has to do with making sure that organizations act in a way that protects the environmental sustainability. So we make sure that the organization is not polluting the environment, rather the organization is what? Improving upon the environment. So planet has to do with the impact of the organization on the environment during the accounting year under discussion. And then finally, people, that is making sure that the actions of the organizations are socially responsible. So this includes what the organization does, what the employees of the organization does, various behaviors of the organization in that order. So these are what you have to understand when it comes to measurement of the assessment of organizational performance using the balanced scorecard and then the triple bottom line in that order. So that is it about performance measurement, and I will see you in the next module.